Good evening, everybody. This is Scott DeCamp with CatchMark SportsNet. We're in the podcast studio in Whitehall. Really happy to have with us the Ravenna girls track and field team, at least many members of them. And we're having a media day experience for them. I think they're having a great time. At least I hope they are. And they're getting ready for their season. A little chilly outside yet, but that's Michigan, and that's spring sports. So
Exactly.
it's going to be that way. So without further ado, let's do some introductions here. We have Junior Kenzie Nichols, a thrower. Welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Junior Bethany Oltoff, she does high jump, she does hurdles, and she is a returning All-Stater. In fact, placed second, I think, at 5'4" at Kent City last June. So welcome, Bethany.
Thank you.
Yep, she was here on media day in basketball as well. Then, of course, ninth-year head coach Monty Gerwig, like me, a proud Ravenna alum. So
Exactly.
yep. So we got to stick together, the Ravenna folks. But thanks for being on and being here, everybody. So what do you think so far of this experience? I mean, you did in basketball, Bethany, but you, Kenzie, and I mean, what's been the best part so far?
I mean, it's been really fun, like, getting all my teammates together, and it's, like, a really good thing for us to bond, which was, like, the best part.
Cool. Yeah, that's what it's meant to be fun. Have some fun, make some memories, that kind of stuff. We get some good content out of it. And we talked about this off camera before we went on, but Olivia Hall, who was a teammate of these girls last year, she posted a comment, good luck. I hope the season goes well. So that was nice of her to say that. And expectations for you guys. What are the goals this year? And anyone can chime in at any time.
Well, for me personally, it's to break our school's high jump record and possibly the 300 hurdle record.
What is the record for high jump?
5'4"3/4.
And who holds that?
Jean Helson, it was set in 1977.
I figured that was a while ago, yeah. I mean, did you ever get in practice? Were you close?
Not really.
I mean, you were close at the state meet, but
And she's already jumped 5'4" indoors at some Grand Valley meets. So it's looking good.
yeah. So I got to pose this just because it's kind of, we have fun doing this sometimes. The main thing is have fun. What would happen if you guys switched events? You did high jump, you did the throws.
Step by step, pretty much, if I did high jump, I wouldn't even break opening height. Like,
You'd break her record probably, right? Not her record, but her mark, 5'4".
No.
You got athleticism in your family. I know that. I know who your dad and your uncle, who those people are.
Yeah, but I would just say if I did high jump, it wouldn't look too pretty.
So what would happen if you did throws?
I don't think I have the strength to back up the shot put.
No, it takes a certain skill with each. And how would you describe what goes into each of those events all the events that these girls do, and just how unique they are from those events from each other?
Like the high jump, there's a lot of technical skills that you need to develop as far as the proper run into the jump and make sure you're leaning away from the bar and not towards it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and then there's the skill and the shot and the disc
A lot of footwork, right?
a lot of footwork.
Yeah.
Isn't it mostly lower body? Do you get most of your power from lower body too?
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you don't get too far in front of yourself when you have the disc.
Yeah.
Timing?
You gotta work. You gotta like work on your feet and stuff, and like the technique on it, like how you like spin all the way and stuff. There's a lot of technique
Right.
to it, so, and a lot of balance.
So what are your PRs so far in your events?
My PR for shot isn't that great. It's only like 27, almost 28, I think. But my discus is like 99 feet and 9 inches. So I'm pretty much breaking 100, pretty much.
And then what are your goals?
My goals for this season would definitely to make it to state again. Whether if I go all state or not, it was still a really good experience to go to state and a really good accomplishment.
So for each of you, what is your obviously I know your history a bit, Monty being a grad and everything, but I guess I'll just go to what got you into track, coaching track, et cetera, and what keeps you in it?
So when my daughter, she graduated in 2014 from Ravenna. When she was in middle school, I volunteered to help the middle school girls track team with like the starting blocks and stuff because the coach didn't have the knowledge. So I helped out there and I just stuck around. And then when she moved into high school, John Crowell and Eric Cumberland brought me on as their assistant. And when they retired, I went in as kept the assistant, but then the girls track coach went on maternity leave, and I became the interim head coach. And when the girls went to Kyle at the end of the season and said that they wanted me to stay on, so they interviewed me against the coach that had gone on maternity leave, and they kept me in position. And then as far as staying on, I just enjoy it so much, helping the girls get to their potential, at least getting close to their potential. Sometimes we don't quite get there, but I think they improve from the time they come in as freshmen. And then every year I have a couple come up through the ranks that I just want to help them get to their senior year, and they keep coming through.
No, the thing with a sport like track and field, and a lot of kids don't get written about if they're not winning, but what's cool about it is everyone's got like the PR mark they're going for. There's personal victories that you see all the time.
Right.
They might not be recognized and everything. People might not acknowledge them as much, but it's still cool. I'm sure as a coach, seeing those kids achieve that and helping them achieve that is really rewarding for you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So how would you describe Coach Gerwig?
I think Monty's the best coach ever. He bought me fruit snacks one time to motivate me, and that really worked.
It works.
Whatever works.
Yep. So, well, I guess just keep doing it because it's been working well. How would you describe Coach?
Monty is like, he's always going to be proud of you. Like, if you tell him you're like, okay, I didn't quite make this, or I didn't quite, make my personal goal, he'll just be like, okay, you'll get it next time. He's always encouraging, and he always like makes sure that you're doing all right.
So, do you have an older brother?
Yep.
Is it Michael?
Yep.
Yeah, he was I think football, bowling, those sports, or no?
He did football and track.
Football and track. So he's a big guy, right? Mm-hmm. So would you call him a good athlete, or are you a better athlete?
I think he's a better athlete.
You sure?
You're
like an all-state high jumper.
He puts in a lot more work than I feel like I do.
So do you have good athleticism in your family then? So it runs in the family? Where I'm going with that too is I know it does in your family as well. So
Yeah.
what are the stories your dad has talked about with the glory days of Ravenna football?
My dad just loves to talk about.
And your dad's name is?
Kent Nichols.
Kent Nichols. So what did he do at Ravenna?
He was a quarterback for the state championship game, and he loves to talk about how he had such a great arm in college. I meant in high school, and I was like, I would want to see you do it now.
He did. He had an amazing arm.
Yeah,
And the chemistry him and his brother had, obviously being twins.
Yeah.
That whole team was just.
Yeah.
Now they call it, the term that people use is a wagon. Like if someone's dominant, they were just unreal. That was a team that I think they were Class C, Division 6, around that spot. So third smallest. But I think that team could have probably competed up through the divisions just because they were that talented. So
Yeah, they were good.
you remember watching them, right?
Oh yeah, I went down to the Pontiac
Yeah.
Dome to watch.
Yeah, yeah. So, but what are the highlights of your guys' season? And I guess generally speaking, why do you do this? Why do you run track? Why do you compete?
I compete in track just because it keeps me at bay, and I love what running does for me, and I love the teamwork that goes in it, and I love how supportive everybody is on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I love how, no matter what age you are, you can always make friends in track and field. I'll talk to people from the throws group, and you meet new people from the team. I know a lot of people now. There's freshmen coming in. And, when you get good at something, it feels really good when you meet the accomplishments that I've always, wanted to do that I never thought I'd be able to do. So that's what keeps me going.
No, another thing I noticed, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is you see it in cross country a little bit too. But yeah, you're competing against these other people, but it seems like a big fraternity or sorority or whatever you want to call it, where it's really supportive. Yeah, again, you want to win, or you want to achieve your PRs and stuff. But what would you say about that aspect of it? And how cool is that to see when you see others from other schools supporting, your girls?
Right. And yeah, I like to see that. I like to see the girls and the boys cheer each other on.
Yep, that's another component.
I know that I've caught myself even cheering on girls from the other teams or whatever, like Jessie up at Hart.
Yep.
I like to cheer them on, even if they're beating my girls, because I like to see everybody succeeds.
Yep, that's cool. So what is your highlight? I mean, maybe it's different for each person, but highlight meet you're circling, your meets top. What are the top meets you're circling on your calendar? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious maybe, but.
My top meets are definitely the Kent City Elite Meet. I love that one.
That's cool.
And then obviously regionals because, I want to make it to state. And then I would say for my third one is definitely the All-Star Meet. I always think that's really fun that you get Division I schools and everything around and you get to compete against each other.
Measure yourself against them. Yep. What about for you? I think I know the answer, but we'll let you
I like the All-Star Meet and the Kent City Invite. And then going to state is such a cool experience, and everybody's so supportive there.
Well, it's been cool, too, that the fact that you got the Kent City Elite Invite earlier in the year, and then you're right back there for the state finals. At least that's where it's been. Kent City has great facilities and everything. But who are some of the – let's get into some of the personality traits now real quick. The girls here, describe each other and maybe say something, the best attribute, and then what's something that is maybe a pet peeve or something that is quirky about the other one.
Okay, for Bethany, I would say a good thing is she works so hard. She'll be there until she gets it right. And then I would say, one bad thing is you're just really quiet. She kind of just, keeps to herself. I'll just be screaming, at the state meet, and she's just thanks.
One really good thing about Kenzie is how determined she is, because our high jump pit is right next to our throwing stuff, so we're always both there after practice. And then one kind of not so great thing is she can get in her head a little bit.
Yes, she can.
Really bad. I get real mad.
What would you say about the girls that are sitting here in front of us, Monty? How would you describe their personality, their competitive drive, etc.?
Like Kenzie, she has a lot of competitive drive, but she does get in her head, and then if she's having a mediocre day, she thinks it's her worst day ever, and you just got to try to get her back on track, and that's probably Kenzie. And then Bethany, she works really hard, and she's gone to some camps, and she's competed a lot indoors, and I think she's got her sights set on that high jump record, and we're going to do it this year.
Got 2 years to do it.
Yep.
So, can you guys do a quick impersonation of your coach?
Don't his laugh. It's that's about all I have. And then it's more of just okay.
Yep.
Nope, you gotta run it.
There it is. There it is.
Laugh.
You
Yep.
got
There
it.
it is.
Was this all set up?
No, it's just he always is just
Is that good? Is that accurate or not?
That's accurate.
All right.
Yep.
So anything else you guys would like to add before we sign off on this podcast? Any final thoughts from each of you?
Well, I'm kind of excited for this year. I mean, normally, this is my size of my team on a normal year is 15, 16, 17 girls. And this year I have 30.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It is.
How'd you get that many kids this year?
I don't know.
they all quit soccer.
That part of I have a lot of girls that I thought were going to play soccer. That's where I usually fight with softball and soccer. Yeah. And being a small school, there's not a lot to go around, but
I don't know if there are any girls doing dual sporting or not.
yeah,
What
I have.
season is there?
I have 6, I think, doing dual
Yeah,
sport.
doing soccer and track
mo-
maybe, or
But this year, I mean, in the past, a lot of the dual sport girls have chosen soccer as their primary, and this year it seems to have flip-flop.
yeah.
I only have a couple that are doing soccer as primary this year.
Any thoughts from you guys?
I don't think so. Do you have any, Bethany?
I'm just really excited for the season to see where the team's gonna go.
Yeah, I am really excited.
We tied for second in the Rivers last year.
Oh, yeah.
I think that now that we have more girls, we have a possibility of scoring a lot more points at meets.
Oh yeah, that depth is key.
We took second in the conference meet, but North Muskegon had beat us by 1 point during the regular
So they got
season.
second overall.
So they got second as far as the dual meet.
Yeah. Oh,
We
okay.
got second in the conference.
Did
so
you
then-
did you tie for second then?
Tied for
Yep,
second.
Yep. Because they combined both of those.
Right. Yep.
The conference meet and the dual portion.
Right.
So,
So-
all right. Best of luck to you guys. I applaud you. I'll go with a cheesy little sound here. So, but no, good job on this podcast, and best of luck this season. Hopefully, you achieve all your PRs and have a great season. But most of all, just have fun and learn and grow. So,
Right.
thanks for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
You.
Yep.